It's Jake Paul, the problem child, in a boxing match taking on Mike Perry. And you already know Mike Perry. If you are this far into a Meat Boy MMA video, then you know the legend of Mr. Perry and a guy who made the switch over to BKFC, and it's essentially been the best decision he's ever made because he's basically the face of the franchise now. He's 5-0 in the BKFC arena, smokes everyone, including Luke Rockhold, Eddie Alvarez. I mean, this is a guy who really has been getting it done, but it's interesting to note that pre-MMA, pre-UFC, Mike Perry was a professional boxer, and he was 0-1, and it allowed him to make the switch to MMA after just the one contest. So he's trying to pick up his first win, and he's going up against Jake Paul. And a lot of people argue maybe these fights are rigged. Who knows the legitimacy of the contest we're going to watch on Saturday? But to me, on paper, this is the most interesting opponent that Jake Paul has had since that Nate Diaz fight. But if we would have broke that one down, I would have told you I thought Nate might win that fight, and it really wasn't that close. Jake kind of dominated in the unanimous decision, and since then he's picked up two nice first round finishes after first round finish. But he took out Andre August, who's that? Ryan Borland, who's that? So this to me is a much more interesting contest against Mike Perry, who is a guy that can simply brawl and really make things ugly. So love to get your thoughts on this one, Meat Boy. Are you taking the bigger, beefier Jake Paul to pick up a fourth straight win, or is Mike Perry as around a plus 300 dog to minus 450 of Jake Paul coming into Sleep, the problem child?
Yeah, the real main event this weekend has got to be this bout. I mean, Mike Perry, whenever he's fighting, you got to tune in. It's fireworks nonetheless. Honestly, man, this is such a tough one. Just because Jake Paul's been looking so good, and Mike Perry's been looking real good at BKFC. So I don't know. I'm pretty torn. But you guys already know who I'm picking. I'm picking the problem child. I have not picked anyone but the problem child since day one. Call me one of the Logangers. Call me one of the Jake Paulers. Not too sure. But I've been getting paid since day one. Mike Perry, the only way I do see him maybe squeaking out a win is if he could somehow bully him, gas him out, get him tired. Because we already know Mike Perry has infinite gas tank, and he is an absolute lunatic. So if he can out-lunatic Jake Paul and somehow get a gritty, big heart win, wouldn't surprise me. But I think Jake does have the skill. Boxing is just one of those weird sports. It's not a real fight type of thing that, I don't know, you just can't really go against Jake at this point.
Yeah, good stuff. And you have been a part of the Logang since the beginning, but you have been laughing your way to the bank the entire time because I know you've been getting paid from some of the homies who love to fade Jake Paul and pick against the kid just because he is Jake Paul. And in this one, I think the size might be big, right? I mean, Mike Perry, he's this more compact little guy. He's 5'10", 71-inch reach, where Jake Paul's around 6'1", 6'2". He's going to have a 5-inch reach advantage, and you wonder if all the time spent boxing with big gloves on will be crucial for him against Mike Perry, who has been the last 5 years thrown down without any pads on his hands. So what are your thoughts on this fight being an 8-round contest? It was 10 rounds against Nate Diaz. I wish that this one was 10 as well. Being an 8-round contest, do you see this fight going the distance and Jake Paul picks up another patented decision, or do you see him finishing Mike Perry?
Honestly, yeah, I could definitely see him finishing Mike Perry, but also 8 rounds, I could see a decision too. But what I do like about 8 rounds is that means Mike Perry is going to go off the rails on pressure. He's going to throw it all out there. But I think Jake Paul is just going to dance around him and play the game boxing, not fight a fight, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. And yeah, maybe it's a good thing that it's 8 rounds. Maybe that allows Mike Perry to just come out like a true pit bull and try to make it as ugly as possible. Maybe try to cut Jake early and create a bloody contest that he's well used to and well prefers as the BKFC champ. But nonetheless, this one's interesting. Vegas overwhelmingly is in favor of Jake Paul. It's pretty close on Tapology, though. 54% is going with the problem child, 46% going with Mike Perry, and basically all of it is Brown for the KO. I wonder if Perry by decision has a little bit of life. I mean, I just think back to that Ryan Garcia boxing event versus Devin Haney most recently, where Garcia was plus 2,000 to win by decision. It seems as though those backing Perry assume that a finish is the only way he gets it done, but maybe Perry goes out there and simply outboxes the kid and wins a decision. I don't know, Meat Boy. I'm pretty torn. I like the juicy odds of Mike Perry, but for Meat Boy's sake, I'll roll with you. I'll take the problem child to win another decision, but of course, I'm going out there hoping Mike Perry can sleep him, because when it comes to who cuts a funnier promo afterwards, Mike Perry sleeping Jake Paul, maybe then calling out his brother Logan Paul. I don't know. I think it could get pretty funny pretty fast. So rooting for Mike Perry, but officially, I'm with you. I'll take Jake Paul by decision. Any last thoughts on that one?
No, 100%. If Mike Perry can get it done, he's gonna cut one heck of a promo and become a bigger megastar than he already is.
Yeah, it's always fun. You never know. Maybe one of these guys fights Conor McGregor next, because it seemed like we're ever getting him in the UFC. So let's get him a sideshow fight, get him 20 mil, and let him fight Mike Perry or Jake Paul. Seems like that's where we're headed in 2024. Anyways,